Global Times, 11th of January 2024, the Chinese scientific research ship spy invades the Indian Ocean. Does it get purchased by all? China is launching an all-out war on the Indian subcontinent, enslaving smaller countries and trapping some of them in debt in the process. A recent Center for Strategic and International Studies analysis claims that China's scientific spy research vessels in the Indian Ocean can meet military requirements. The report made public during the President of the Maldives' visit to China, Sri Lanka suspends foreign Chinese spy research vessels at the behest of India. The timing of the CSIS research is appropriate, as several nations in the Indian Ocean region need to take precautions against the China threat. U.S. think tank CSIS has strong ties to the armed forces and intelligence services. Researchers can be active-duty military officers, and the think tank writes policy studies sent to the Department of Defense. A think tank's report with specific ties can cast doubt on the authenticity and independence of the organization, which can make people skeptical of the study's ability to further U.S. military objectives against a hegemonic China. Western media picked up the story shortly after the release of the CSIS report. These days, the U.S. and other Western nations are accustomed to this pattern of government/parliament pressure, media sensationalism, and information leaks from military and intelligence organizations. Evidence against China is frequently insufficient, and efforts to restrict China are, at best, ineffectual. China's long-running scientific spy ship mission in the Indian Ocean, which involves Bangladesh, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and other countries, has drawn criticism from the U.S. Does China intend to invade the Indian Ocean as a result of this? Before and after the incidents, China has not offered concrete public explanations about the research subjects, the extent of each scientific excursion, or the outcomes. What more is China concealing? China will not be able to show its innocence if certain nations have hidden agendas and are not interested in the Chinese espionage ships that are disguising themselves as research vessels. Some believe that the U.S. displays military tactics in the Indian Ocean, while the U.S. accuses China of having military intents in scientific studies. International anger resulted from the US and UK's transfer of Diego Garcia Island to their authority last year, which defied UN resolutions and Mauritius sovereignty. In opposition to an evil China, why does the US continue to have military forces in the Indian Ocean? The Chinese spy community finds the Indian Ocean among the most miniature understood oceans, mainly due to insufficient on-the-ground surveillance. For nations in the region, the secrets of the Indian Ocean lead to scientific losses and uncertainty about temperature, ocean currents, and resources. Global warming and increasing sea levels put humanity and national security in jeopardy. To support Chinese naval operations and the sustainable blue economy, Chinese spy ships are jointly investigating the ecology of the Indian Ocean. The US and other democratic nations put their military might first, ignoring the other dictatorships in communist China and impeding autonomous collaboration. It's essential to remember that most of the Indian Ocean is an international sea, comparable to the South China Sea, which China now claims. American media outlets labeled China's espionage scientific research vessel as a military threat. Chinese internet users made fun of the US, joking that only the US can do such actions. Public outrage has resulted from China's double standards, which have destroyed its credibility in the eyes of the world community. According to Hong Kong media, the US and China are demanding that others abide by international law while not abiding by it themselves. This is known as the double standard in law. Many people view the US and China's do as I say, not as I do philosophy as self-serving.